Trying to take 2 out of 3 from the Padres. A's, Padres next, and we'll talk to you after the ball game.
It's a beautiful day for a series finale here in West Sacramento. It's the A's against the Padres, round 3. Hello again, everybody. Alongside my broadcast partner, Dallas Braden, I'm Chris Carey. In Dallas, the A's got a big first win in West Sacramento last night, 10-4, but it was really the bottom of the order that did the heavy lifting.
Yeah, the boys at the bottom were banging. They were absolutely raking, Chris. And when you get production like this, that 9-man lineup really starts to feel like it's turning into a 10, 11, 12-man lineup. Look at that production, 10 for 15. That is out of this world. 3 doubles, the homer. So obviously there's power, 8 RBI, 8 runs. Get on base, provide those opportunities, cash those opportunities in. The idea that you're getting that kind of production at the bottom for a group who can turn it over to the meat and potatoes at the top, that's scary to think about.
DB, everything was clicking for the A's offense last night. Can it continue today? We will find out in just a few moments. The A's against the Padres series finale coming up next.
This telecast is brought to you by Toyota. Class-leading MPG and more hybrid models than any other brand. Toyota, let's go places. And by Cache Creek Casino Resort, Northern California's premier entertainment destination.
Sun's out for a series finale. Osvaldo Bido and the A's take the field in Game 3 against the San Diego Padres. A beautiful day for baseball. And today's game time weather is presented by Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. 76 degrees, 41% humidity. Not too much wind action today, Dallas, but you can see a lot of fans on the berm have their towels out and their sunglasses on.
Things are heating up here. The A's offense, the A's lineup, Chris, also heating up.
Let's look at San Diego's lineup first. This is who Mike Schilt will roll out in this series finale. Luis Arraez will lead off and bat first. Xander Bogaerts, then Manny Machado. Gavin Sheets, the DH, will clean up, followed by Oscar Gonzalez, then Iglesias, Hayward, Lockridge, and Maldonado.
Chris, they are going to have their hands full this afternoon with the big fella on the bump today for the green and gold. That is Osvaldo Bido. Bido, making his third start of the season, was outstanding in his last turn. That was up in the Rockies. And for the right-hander, 5 solid innings, just a couple earned runs allowed. But Chris, the best pitch in baseball outside of the changeup is strike one. He was 16 for 22 in that regard. So if he can continue to fill up the strike zone against an aggressive team that we've seen in San Diego, I like the odds of some early outs.
First pitch swinging is Luis Arias, right at 12:35. And it's a foul ball. So Arias, the leadoff man today, on a 4-game hitting streak, has 11 hits on this road trip. And he flies it to left, but Andujar has to fight the sun, recover, and dive to make the catch. The ball was playing tricks on Andujar, but the result ended up and out. A good play by Miguel to stick with the baseball.
Yeah, I think it's important. You got to have proper form. This is a great open field tackle here by Andujar. Able to sink the hips, wrap up, take it to the ground. Yeah, baby Miggy.
Had the shades on, fought the sun, but not too much wind, so the ball was knuckling and moving. And if it was going to happen off of anybody's bat, I would assume it would be Arias.
Well, he's got that slice staying inside the ball. You could see it just start to tail off towards the line a bit.
Now Xander Bogaerts, who will drop it into left field for a base hit. Andujar cuts it off, or tries to at the warning track, bobbles it. And Bogaerts will pull up at second base with a 1-out hit. Here's the defense for the A's behind Osvaldo Bido. Andujar in left, he's already seen the ball twice. Blade in center and Butler in right. Urias and Wilson on the left side of the infield. Muncy and Soderstrom on the right side. And Langeliers has started every single game this home series behind the plate. So Bogaerts' hit is a single with a fielding error.
Yeah, that's going to go single E7 for those folks scoring at home.
He lands at second base. Bogaerts already had a double in this series. His 4th hit of this series puts him on second early here with 1 out in the first. And now Machado gets it in the air to shallow left center. In comes Blade. He slides and it drops down. But Bogaerts had to hold up to make sure Blade didn't catch the baseball. And Bogaerts advances to third. So now runners on first and third with just 1 out for San Diego.
Well, nothing that Bogaerts can really do here. He's got to make sure that this ball is either down or secured. Tough to decide which was which for him. Blade made a great effort coming in. Unfortunately, you can see that glove sort of bend back just a bit, and the ball scored out right after. But Bogey just kind of hung up in no man's land, sees it down finally, and he'll bolt over to third base. Padres are cooking here, 1 on, 2 on, 1 out.
It's Gavin Sheets, infield playing him to pull. He'll do exactly that down the first base line, but foul. 0-1.
Well, the expectation, you can see J.J. Blade knew it. I was close to making an exceptional play. Because I thoroughly enjoy seeing that sort of emotion. Just tells you what kind of a grinder he is out there.
Sheets gets in the air, felt, well, that was the type of player you were.
Just nowhere near the athlete.
Here's the umpiring crew today. James Hoy, the crew chief behind the plate. DJ Rayburn at first. John Libka at second. And Sean Barber at third. You played a little center field.
Yeah, a little
time
center
or two
field.
in college, didn't you?
Oh, yeah.
2 to Sheets. He fouls it off again.
Well, it's James Hoy behind the plate. And if you haven't noticed, bit of a Kramer guy. Seinfeld guy, big Kramer guy. He got caught with his shirt, well, just revealing his fandom, if you will. Also, tight strike zone against the right-handers. But the lefties, things open up a bit for you.
0-2, swing and a miss, and Bido strikes out Sheets for the 2nd out of the first.
See where Langeliers is set up. They want this ball away, maybe even tailing off. And Bideau has no problem meeting the demand. That is a great fastball. A lot of life to the arm side there. Good finish is what you saw. 95 exploding through that zone.
Now you have Oscar Gonzalez, the right-handed hitter. Came in mid-game last night after Cronenworth left with an injury. So Iglesias, who started the game, made his outfield debut at the major league level last night, bumped to second base. That opened up Gonzalez to play in left field. Gonzalez played 54 games with the Cleveland Guardians in 2023. A 1, runner going. Langoliers throws to third. No one was covering, but Urias catches the baseball at his typical positioning. A snap throw attempt, but audacious effort.
Well, and typically what happens is your third baseman will start to cover up, especially if you see action. You'll have your third baseman cover up and get over to the bag for that reason.
In the air to deep right. Butler drifts back to the warning track, and glasses gleaming makes the catch. A scoreless first inning for Bideau. A's bats coming up next. No score entering the bottom of the first inning. And the A's lineup will try to strike first in the series finale, starting with Lawrence Butler, who's on a 5-game hitting streak. Then Brent Rooker and Tyler Soderstrom. Shea Langoliers, the cleanup man. Then J.J. Bleday. On Duhar, Wilson, Urias, and Muncy to follow.
And it's going to be right-hander Randy Vasquez on the bump for the Friars this afternoon in the matinee. And for the right-hander, there's a little familiarity here. One start, and that came last season against the A's. That was back in June. 5 good innings, just 1 run allowed. And this is a guy, Chris, who has no problem garnering the ground ball. So today, with the early action that we've seen throughout this entire series for Randy Vasquez, if he can keep this A's lineup on the ground and out of the air, he likes his chances, but just going to have to try to elevate your sights.
Butler hits in the air to deep center field. Lockridge goes back, twists and turns, and makes the catch right before the warning track. 1 down. So other than Lockridge, what does the Padres defense look like today? Well, let's take a look. Hayward in left, Lockridge in center, Gonzalez in right. Machado and Arise on the corners, Bogarts and Iglesias up the middle, and Martin Maldonado, who had a 3-hit performance last night, back in the saddle again for the series finale. Here's Brent Rooker, swinging on the first pitch and fouling it away. 0-1. Brent 0 for 9 in the series so far, but he loves hitting in the daytime. Last year he hit .342 with 22 home runs and 65 RBIs in 60 day games. And he'll nub it up the middle. To his right is Iglesias, gathers, throws to first, and Rooker is retired by a step and a half. 2 down.
Well, there's the ground ball that Vasquez is known for. Just taking a look at his repertoire, you've got cutter, curveball, sweeping slider, that four-seam fastball, the sinker that we're going to see in the changeup, and it's really a steady mix. Outside of the changeup, he's one of those any pitches at any time kind of guy, and I think that can create a air of unpredictability about a guy.
Ground ball to second. Iglesias to his left. And a very quick inning for Randy Vasquez. No score through one here in the finale. Take the A's on the go this season and stream the games on the NBC Sports app, brought to you by Toyota. Top of the second inning, and Iglesias is up with no score. He takes outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Well, Jose played 2 positions last night, one in left field, and then got a little bit more comfortable at second base. And he's back at second base today with Jake Cronenworth having some cramping issues after that swing yesterday, where he grounded out to the second baseman Muncy in the 3rd inning and hardly left the left side batter's box. 2-1 swing and miss, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, Tatis also another guy.
I was just going to say, the Friars kind of feeling it. I mean, rolling to Sacktown, your stud rookie out in center field, he hits the shelf, some hammy tightness. Tatis Jr., your platinum glove defender out in right.
2-2 is a slider away. It seems like the Padres are playing shorthanded, at least for the finale, before they head back home for a 6-game homestand. 3-2, and Iglesias climbs the ladder, fouling it away.
We'll take you back to last night just to show you that awkward swing, that finish from Tatis Jr. You could see the grimace, clearly uncomfortable. Then he would go into a slide over at third base.
Weekly grounded to short. Wilson gathers in a low throw to first, but Soderstrom's able to corral it. 1 down.
And after the slide, you could see him get up awkwardly. And then Cronenworth. Take a look at this swing. And you saw it, Chris, just maybe a hesitation getting out of the box. We initially thought it might have been a lower body injury, maybe I don't know, a leg, a hammy, a something, who knows, but either way, not fun for the Friars.
It's now Hayward taking outside, 1 ball and no strikes.
Well, we started to talk about this last night, and I received some messages on it, and it was the wrapping of that top hand. from Jason Hayward. This has been something that has been documented throughout his career, and I know a lot of people I think at times when the production waned really tried to hone in on that. But the idea that it could very well impact, you know, your point of contact to the baseball and just really your path to the ball.
Three balls and one strike. Well, it's been good to have Jason Hayward, veteran presence, great leader throughout his major league career. 3-1, and he will line it past Muncy at second base and into right center field for a one-out knock. Can also do that from time to time.
Well, Bideau coming right after him. 3-1, you got to throw a strike. And Hayward all over it. See this ball as we will continue to see take off through the infield. And they did a great job of trying to saturate the area in front of home plate. You can see the discoloration. It's already starting to dry out. That's what I'm talking about. You can see right here, a little grayer.
So it's Lockridge now. Taking a quick second strike. Lockridge got his first hit of the series last night. It was a sixth inning single. As Hayward at first. Just one out the top of the second with no score here in West Sacramento. Soderstrom will hold on Hayward. The 0-2 pitch is a slider outside. We know Bideau's MO is to initiate weak contact. Get the ball on the ground fairly well. Operating from the stretch now, and he's facing a contact hitter in Brandon Lockridge, who bounces it to Muncy, waits back on it, will peg it to first and beat out Lockridge by a quarter step. So Muncy gave up on the double play chance, thought let's get the sure out at first base, and he handles that for the second out.
Yeah, I was almost expecting Muncy maybe to attack that baseball. You have to go into a quick pivot and get the throw over to Jacob Wilson quickly, and maybe with Hayward busting it over to second base, that slow roller, make sure of at least one out. You'll take it.
So it's Maldonado now, who looked like the Martin Maldonado of old last night. 3-hit performance. First time since August 11th of 2023 that he had a trio of hits in a game. Take a breaking ball for a strike, now 1-1. That was against the Los Angeles Angels, where he went 3 for 5 with a double and 2 RBIs. And 3 singles and a run scored, going 3 for 4 last night. One fastball dotted up for a strike, 1-2.
Well, what he brings to the table behind the plate as a steward of the game is so much more important and so much more valuable than any offensive production you're going to receive from him. That doesn't mean that he doesn't want to go out and perform and put quality at bats together, but he's here because of what he provides behind home plate.
From the stretch, 1-2 pitch, and Maldonado climbs the ladder up high, and Bideau is happy with that result. Another scoreless frame for Osvaldo Bideau. It stays at 0-0.
Calling all kiddos. Youngsters 12 and under are invited onto the field after most Sunday day games to run the same bases that their favorite A's players do. Secure your Sunday tickets for the whole family at athletics.com/kids. Let the kids play.
And a lot of kids want to take pictures and get your autograph today. Big Dallas Braden fans.
Well, I tell you what I'm a fan of is I'm a fan of their parents bringing them out to the ball game. I mean, maybe there's a spring break. I don't know. Maybe there's not. I'd like to think it's just good quality folks who want to get their kids to the ballpark.
It's a great day to take in a baseball game, that's for sure. 76 degrees outside, not a cloud in the sky in West Sacramento. 2 balls and no strikes. 2 Langoliers, now 3-0. Vasquez had a 6-pitch first. We went 1-2-3 against Butler, Rooker, and Soderstrom. All 3 put the ball in play, but ended up empty-handed. 3-0, high and in, and Langoliers draws a leadoff walk on 4 pitches.
Yeah, this pitch just sails. Langoliers out of the way and on his way down to first base.
So it's J.J. Bleday taking a breaking ball for a strike. He had a nice night at the office last night. 3 for 7 this series. Last night he had 2 RBI double, a walk, solo home run, 3 runs scored. I'd say that's pretty good.
Not a bad day at the office.
As Langoliers' speed on first. Infield will play Bleday to pull. JJ takes a strike at the knees, 1-2. Randy Vasquez made 20 starts for the Padres in 2024. He went 4-7 across 98 innings. Opponents carried a .304 average against him, however. Vasquez was a piece in that massive Soto and Trent Grisham trade to the New York Yankees. He, along with Michael King and a few others, went the other way out west to San Diego. 2 grounded foul. Just 26 years old, from the Dominican Republic.
Well, I think the Padres have to be happy with the return that they've seen from Michael King.
Balls and 2 strikes.
I mean, with King, you're talking about a guy who just finished in the top 10 in Cy Young voting last year, 7th. That's how it shakes out. Michael King, Randy, Johnny Brito and company.
3-2 Langoliers is going. Bleday swinging and fouling it back. Pretty good list of players that the Padres got in return. And of course, Soto has now decided to play for the other New York team.
We'll see him soon.
In 2 days. The next 3-2, Langoliers breaking for second again. It won't matter. Now back-to-back walks from Vasquez, and that's how the offense will start for the A's in the bottom of the 2nd inning, bringing up Miguel Andujar.
Well, and this is where the damage started to occur, really. I mean, 5 through 9 last night, just on a different level. I told you before the game, if you were watching the open, 10 for 15, the bottom of the order.
Right. And Miguel Andujar quietly riding a 6-game hitting streak. 3 for 8 this series.
Well, I think it's easy for Miggy and his streak to get lost in the fact that the A's have continued to hit homers since Game 1 of this season, setting a franchise record.
Andujar swings at the first pitch and fouls it back.
And last night, Miggy in on the action. What a pitch from Cease. He was able to put the bat on. And it was just a line that was constantly moving last night. I mean, there were at one point 5 hits in a row.
During this 6-game hitting streak, 375, 9 hits, double, 2 RBIs, and 5 runs. Just waiting to see Miguel leave the building for the first time this year. 0-2, pokes the bat head out, gets it in the air to left. In comes Hayward and trots to make the catch for the first out. So Andujar gets bat to ball. He does that very frequently, but no one better on this A's roster, no one better possibly in the world right now, aside from maybe the man at first base, Luis Arias, than Jacob Wilson at making contact with the baseball in 2025.
It's been extremely impressive. It's been a really fun series to watch, just with those 2 guys alone and the way that they have performed. But it's exciting to know that more times than not, the ball will be in play. You're going to get action. You're going to have a chance to create a little action.
So here's Wilson taking the first pitch.
Well, he got 3 of them last night. Here's number 1. Slider down, he goes and gets. Looked like a changeup that he also went down and got, and then the left-hander threw him a little wrinkle, and he had no problem getting to that either.
0-1, line the other way, it's dropping fast and gets down, and another hit for Jacob Wilson. Make that a 14-game hitting streak dating back to the final game of last season, and now 13 games with a hit to start a season.
Yeah, a little cutter that starts middle, starts to try to work its way away, but Jacob Wilson, just a phenomenal job of keeping the head down on the baseball. That's now 14 games in a row going back to last year with a knock for the young shortstop.
So it's Luis Urias with the bases loaded and just 1 out.
Got to get a job done here. Have to.
First pitch is a strike on the outside edge.
Well, he just continues to climb that list, huh?
There's with Sweeney, Dye, and Lansford. The A's finally picked up their first lead in the first inning in West Sacramento yesterday, and now Urias sends it to center. In comes Lockridge. He makes the catch. Coming home is Langoliers. The throw to the plate is in time. And Langoliers thinks that he got underneath the tag.
We're going to need to take a peek at this. It was a great job by Maldonado, who was trying to give Langoliers a lane. He doesn't want to get banged. And Cott says, put the cans on. We're going to take a peek. I got to believe that Langoliers got that lead foot in across the plate before the tag was applied. And I think that after they go back to the replay, they will agree. There you see the foot come right across the front part of the plate. It's a good tag by Maldonado, just a little too high up on the thigh before that foot gets to the plate.
Challenging the whole play at the plate.
But again, the mechanics of the play, Maldonado, you could see him sort of retreat, and that's, again, not to take the lane or take the plate away. Give you another peek here. You see where he's at, back in that right-hand batter's box, going forward.
This is a good angle right here, Dallas.
It's a great angle, and you can see that foot get across now, and then the tag. Right there, that plate. I mean, that is a great shot. That is a fantastic shot. Right there. Take it back. Yeah, right there.
After review, the call is overturned. The runner is safe.
Yes, he is.
The Atlanta Athletics will retain their challenge.
I knew they'd see it my way.
So this is important because now this is the first time in West Sacramento where the A's have struck first in a game.
Well, how about this? Shout out Puddin' Pop, Adam Roden. Eagle Eye. 5 for 5 this year on replays. He's never done anything that efficiently.
Now it's Max Muncy. taking outside 1 ball and no strikes. So the A's finally strike first in their home ballpark. Comes with a sacrifice fly off the bat of Luis Urias, who does in fact do the job that you were requesting him to do. Now 2-0 to Max.
Well, again, with Vasquez on the mound, a guy who can go get you a ground ball in his sleep. Defense was just sort of waiting for that ground ball to come. It never did. He got the ball out into the outfield. Langoliers made a great slide. Good guys up 1-0.
Whoa, in the air, shallow right. Out goes Arraez, in comes Gonzalez, and Luis Arraez, as he backpedals, makes the catch. But the A's get the first run of the game thanks to an Urias sacrifice fly. It's 1-0. One nothing A's in the top of the third inning. The birthday boy comes up to the plate. Luis Arraez turns 28 years old today.
Well, I have no problem if Bideau wants to blow out his candles. He can wait until tomorrow.
Have a belated birthday celebration. What does a birthday celebration look like in San Diego? I know you've had a time or two. There's some fish tacos.
Yeah, I was going to say fish tacos. You'd like to think that there's some SPF involved, but depending on whether or not you can find the bottom of those endless mimosas.
One crack to center. Blade, good read on it, makes the catch on the line drive. 1 down.
Because that's absolutely involved. So should you make your way to the bottom of those bottomless mimosas, the SPF is probably something that you overlook.
I'm sure Jenny has spent a birthday or two in San Diego once or twice. She'd probably be able to tell us.
Yeah, not a bad spot to celebrate anything.
So 28 years old is Arraez. Hard to believe with his resume. He's only 28. First pitch strike to Xander Bogaerts. He got a single and then advanced to second on a fielding error committed by Miguel Andujar. Bideau dealt with the rest of the lineup quickly. Now a slow rolling ball to third base. Urias is going to barehand it, make an attempt at first. It pushes Soderstrom off the bag, and Bogaerts has his second hit of the game. It's an infield single.
Well, you can see where Urias is playing a soft roller over to him. Only chance at it is a bare hand, but Bogey well down the line. Again, just one of those full swings. Just never, baseball feels like it never quite gets to you as a defender.
So Machado up. So much like Bogaerts, had a 4-game hitting streak entering today, and then got a single in the first and a stolen base, and has added to that total now a 5-game hitting streak for Manny. Seen the pop of his bat in these 3 games.
Manny got it going early. Something that the opponent has done a good job of. That's getting on the scoreboard early in that first inning and via the homer.
0-2, line drive off the glove of Urias. It drips into left field. But Urias almost made a miraculous jumping catch.
Well, I mean, this is a rocket off the barrel of Manny. And Urias probably lucky that glove didn't get ripped off his hand. I mean, that was smashed. You can see he's got some fingers on it, just couldn't get the webbing around it. That's 110, 109, 110 off the bat. That is scalding.
Where that ball was hit, that could have possibly advanced Bogaerts to third, had Urias not knocked it down the way that he did, or at least took away the velocity of the baseball. So Gavin Sheets ripping and fouling it back, 0-1. Sheets likes hitting during the day. This season, 6 for 19 entering play today with a homer and 2 RBIs when the sun's out. He's late to that fastball, now 0-2. And some guys see the ball really, really well during the day. It's hard to see this one.
Well, this is a good fastball up top. Again, the stuff from Bideau right now, the fastball sort of exploding through.
0-2 is outside. Why is that? Why do some guys really do well under the lights and then others are really, really good when the sun's out?
Well, I mean, it could be a lot of different things. To your point about seeing the ball, just being a little more comfortable visually with what you're taking in. You know, that's why from park to park, the batter's eye is something that guys either really like or, you know, feel differently about. Langlear's going to walk that one off. But I think there's a lot of things. You know, just simple a body clock. You know, you're up, you're moving around.
1-2, swing and a miss. And Bideau gets Gavin Sheets for a second time. Third strikeout for Osvaldo. And now Gonzalez comes up.
Well, it's a backup cutter, and I think the fact that this pitch backed up is why you get the swing and miss. Because I think Sheets, after falling victim to the fastball first time around, looking to cover it, but things got a little different look to it.
Swinging a fly ball to shallow center. In comes Blade. Dives, and it's in and out of his glove. Bogaerts scores, and the game is tied. JJ has had his name called a lot early on in this game. 2 attempts at the baseball where he's had to leave his feet. There he almost made a phenomenal catch.
Well, let's watch the end of this play here, because it looks like that ball was in and out of the glove before he made contact. Oh, it's in the glove and then pops out. And, you know, you wonder how new that glove may be for JJ, because that's twice now that we've seen the ball in the glove and then pop out after that sort of jarring effect once the body hits the ground and you have that impact.
So an RBI for Gonzalez. Machado moved to third on the play, and game's all evened up. Now Iglesias bouncing ball to second, ranging over as Muncy slides, throws to first, and what a play by Max Muncy to keep it a 1-1 game.
Muncy took a quack at it and made a heck of a play.
So from one second baseman to another, Max Muncy gets the last laugh of the top of the third inning, but the Padres score. It's all evened up at 1. 1-1 your score entering the bottom of the third inning. Top of the order up for a second time against Vasquez. It's Butler, Rooker, and Soderstrom. Chris Carey, Dallas Braden here in West Sacramento in the series finale against the Padres. Each team has a win. And each of these teams is looking for a series win. Athletics enter today at 5-7. The Padres at 9-3 after being handed a loss at 10-4 last night by the Athletics. Now 2 balls and 1 strike. Popped up. Retreating is Bogarts in shallow center, and he will make the catch backpedaling for the first out. Muncy made an incredible play to end the top of the third inning.
Well, he sure did. He went in this little hip slide and the turn. That right there is the most impressive part about it. I don't think folks truly appreciate or understand the sort of balance, the core strength required to get up on a knee and spin.
Bouncing ball to third. Machado retreats. Sidearm sling to first. And 2 are down.
I mean, you have to maintain posture, and you also have to have an idea of where you're going to let the baseball go while you're moving like that, so that you throw a strike over there. Chris, I don't know how your morning was. I woke up in a great mood. I'm sure you did too. Tyler Soderstrom woke up the best player in baseball, according to B-WAR right now. 1.1 WAR accumulated already for this fella.
Time now for the Home Depot Getting It Done feature, and it is Tyler Soderstrom. Those are some pretty big numbers.
Fairly solid start.
6 homers, 18 hits, and the OPS just through the roof at Major League Baseball. Almost a 1,300 OPS for this man. He had some calf tightness yesterday, had some contact made with his ankle, and he's right back in the thick of it today. At 2-0, he drives it to deep center field. Lockridge going back, still going, and he hauls it in at one of the deepest parts of the yard. 1-2-3 inning for Vasquez. It stays 1-1.
Spring into baseball season with this limited time flash sale. Get 2 tickets for just $25 for selected games April and May. Act fast. This online only deal ends tonight at 11:59. Secure your tickets at athletics.com/flash sale.
Good little shot of some ducks on the pond. Are you a duck fan? You like ducks?
I like ducks. I wouldn't call myself a duck guy, but I like ducks.
You're more of a goose guy?
I'm a fan of Gossage.
Me too. First pitch high to Jason Hayward. The score 1-1 here in the top of the 4th inning. Well, you guys have, in terms of how you competed on the mound, some similar traits.
Little fire. I mean, he's probably a little better.
Slightly.
A little better, but yeah. Same intensity, same desire. You want to win.
He had the alliteration going too.
Yes, the double G's.
I remember one time when I was still working down in the minor leagues when Goose Gossett showed up, the whole kind of stadium went silent for a second. A lot of old-timer baseball fans that were like, he's here? Wow. 2-1, cracked foul down the first base line, and now it's 2-2.
Thought you were going to tell me he was the guy who came in and gave your 8th grade basketball team a pep talk before the championship game.
I don't know if it would have helped us. Some things can't be saved, Dallas. Hey, but we competed.
Oh, I've heard.
We competed. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss by Jason Hayward. And just judging by the way Max Muncy has played today, you know, if we had had him on my team, we would have won the championship. It's fine.
Easy. 85 elevated. You can see Hayward not terribly excited about it underneath the pitch.
Now it's Lockridge, who made a nice catch in center 2 innings ago off the bat of Luis Urias, and had a solid throw to the plate, but Shea Langoliers was able to beat the wrap. A nice slide, feet first, just underneath Maldonado's tag to open up the scoring of the game, to make it that point 1-0. The Padres have since scored in their offensive half of the 3rd, now up again here at the top of the 4th. It is CB Doe going out there and competing. He's making his home debut in 2025.
Ooh.
His 2 starts both came on the road. Seattle and then Colorado. Now 3-1 to Lockridge, who has speed. The pitch is a strike, and now the count full to 3-2.
Yeah, I think you get out of Colorado with 5 good innings under your belt. Anything less than 5 runs, it feels like you did a good job.
3-2 fouled away. You get 5 good innings when it feels like it's 5 degrees outside in Denver, Colorado.
Well, he was able to push the flurries aside, no problem. 5 good innings, as we've said, a couple earned runs. 5 tickets punched. That was on 87 pitches.
It's got to be a different experience when you're a pitcher pitching in the cold. 3-2, and Lockridge will drop it into right field for a base hit. Now a word by Visit Humboldt.
Legends suggest locals here have been cultivating the most idyllic getaway destination for centuries. Although Mother Nature has been on the job much longer, no doubt.
Now that right there, that's God's country. Ton of quality cultivation up there in the Emerald Triangle, I can tell you.
A lot of good hiding spots for you with that beard.
They call it the Redwood Canopy for a reason, my friend. Them boys up there know what they're doing.
No balls and 1 strike to Martin Maldonado. Runner going, Lockridge, throw down to second. Muncy's tag is late on the high throw. And Lockridge, who we did say has speed, does have a stolen base here and puts himself in scoring position with just 1 out for Maldonado at the plate.
Well, Lockridge with a good first step there. And Munz tried to catch him on the calf on the way in. But he had to go up and come back down. By that time, Lockridge already well into his slide into second.
You go back to talk about Colorado as a pitcher when it's cold like that. Because you're getting the ball every time, because you're amped up, do you feel the cold on the mound? I know guys standing around know that they're feeling it when they're in the infield trying to move around. But as a pitcher, is it a different sensation?
Absolutely. Yeah, he did.
There's a check swing. Maldonado down on strikes for a second time.
But Chris, that's something that you have to figure out about yourself, and I think it happens a lot earlier than before you get to the big leagues. You see Maldi kind of waving at that one. And it's, you know, through high school and even in your collegiate years, if you're not a high school draft pick headed to pro ball, you find out whether or not you're a sleeves guy. Can you pitch with sleeves on? Is it comfortable? But the biggest thing that I'll say when it comes to the cold weather is the wind. That's going to be the difference maker, because it's one thing to have stagnant air and it be cold. Okay, you can deal with that. But even if it's 50 degrees outside with a steady wind, that wind chill, that can change things.
In the air to center field. And Blade has a beat on it, making the catch. So another good inning of work by Osvaldo Bido. It stays 1-1 with Langoliers coming up in the bottom of the fourth.
This telecast is brought to you by the official Pest Prevention, ridding your space of pests officially.
This is just a perfect day, Dallas. Baseball, Wednesday, good crowd, close game, series finale. Langoliers coming up. He scored the only run of the game for the A's after leading off with a walk 2 innings ago. He'll swing at the first pitch and foul it straight down, 0-1. Yesterday, the A's scored their first double-digit performance of the year. Hopefully many more of those. With an offense like this, you would expect that to happen fairly frequently. Shea out in front of a nice sweeper, now 0-2. I know there's been a lot of talk about the ballpark playing more offensive friendly. Sometimes the wind coming off the river can play a factor. But yesterday the A's didn't really do it with the long ball. They only had one, and that was J.J. Blede's home run. They did everything else. 0-2 slider outside, and I'm wondering, as a player, coming here, and you saw the Cubs, they were free swinging left and right. If part of the reason that the ball is playing so well for the offense, 1-2, weakly grounded to short. Rounding it is Bogart, shuffles, fires to first, one down, is because there's this perception that maybe the ball will fly, therefore it does fly.
Well, you still have to put the bat on the ball. And I think the aggressive nature that we have already witnessed from teams that have come in, and maybe you get to some pitches, you get to some fastballs. I think Mark Kotsay said it best the other day when asked about, you know, some of the home runs that have been surrendered here. He said, look, you still have to execute pitches. Like, I don't care what park you're in. You have to throw strikes, and they have to be quality strikes. If you're behind in the count and the hitters find themselves with count leverage, you're probably going to see an A swing, right? With some serious bad intentions behind it. We saw that in the Cubs series. I mean, Seiya Suzuki was just absolutely clobbering the baseball everywhere, but an aggressive approach. And so I think there could be something to it when you think about just mentally going to a minor league ballpark.
2-0 to Blade. He fouls it off of himself.
I think a lot of folks say to themselves, big leaguers in a minor league ballpark, what could that look like? What would the offense look like? And I think we're getting answers to those questions slowly but surely, because I've watched plenty of BP rounds here with minor league guys, and I've watched plenty of rounds here already with big league guys, and it's different.
And it's not like Seiya Suzuki or Kyle Tucker, who had a lot of success here. It's not like they teetered off at all when they left here.
No.
So maybe it seems like the numbers might have been inflated while they were here. No, Seiya Suzuki is one of the best offensive players in the game this year, and just continuing on a tear that just doesn't seem to stop for him in Chicago. 2-2, bouncing ball to first. Arise will take it himself, and 2 are down. Xfinity delivers Wi-Fi built for streaming live sports with ultra low lag. Stream the biggest moments from the best seat in the house with Xfinity. So now it's Miguel Andujar with none on and 2 out in a 1-1 game. Well, the Cubs have been off to a tremendous start in the National League Central. Big swing by Andujar. The NL has had a lot of teams that won 8 or more games. The Padres, one of them, the Dodgers as well, San Francisco, the Mets who come to town, and of course Chicago, who just came from here. Now Andujar lifts it to left, but it goes out of play. The American League only has one 8+ win team entering play today, and that's in this division, the Texas Rangers.
Well, and entering play today, Chris, the American League West, oddly enough, not a single team with a positive run differential. And if you're looking at your computer right now going, well, look at the Angels, it started at 0. 0.
0-2, and the breaking ball does Andujar in. Another 1-2-3 inning for Vasquez. He sat down 7 straight.
Stream out-of-market games live on MLB.tv, and new for 2025, you can stream the Athletics in Sacramento and the Bay Area at athletics.tv for $19.99 a month. Blackout and other restrictions do apply. Visit MLB.tv for details.
Nice close one here as we go to the 5th. And a good changeup by Bideau. Cutter, that is. Looked like it almost moved like a changeup, but It's been a deceptive pitch. Gets a swing and miss by Bogaerts, and now he will shoot it past the diving Urias, tucking it into the left field corner, and Bogaerts lands at second base to lead off the 5th inning. It's a 3-hit afternoon for him so far, and he has been all over the baseball this series.
Well, this here a slider, and again you can see it start to work its way back towards the arm side or inside to Bogey, and that is not where you want that pitch finishing. And Bogaerts, as you said, Chris, 3 knocks today, seeing it well, just able to open up and get to it quickly with authority, and that's a leadoff double.
So Machado's swinging for the fences and missing on a high fastball. Still got good life on the fastball, does Bideau. Still 95, 96. That was pitch number 70 of the contest from him.
Well, maybe a bit of an issue for the Padres. 2 for 9 this afternoon with runners in scoring position. The A's 1 for 3.
This part of the order, Bogaerts and Machado up to this point now 5 for 5 as a duo today in the 2 and 3 spots. High and in on Machado, 2 balls and 1 strike.
Now what's important for Bideau is to dial that slider back in here. The last few we've seen have backed up a touch. So if he can get out in front, he can finish this pitch here. I think he starts to get himself back into a position to garner some swing and miss. Yeah, see, he's just under the baseball right now when it comes to that slider. Had a pretty good idea that was coming. And it's because I know Shea Langoliers understands. We start to lose that pitch, we're going to have to go to a different spot. We're going to have to start to show some different things.
3-1 stretch pitch. Machado fouls it off. So he goes with a cutter that time. Now 3-2 with Bogaerts at second and nobody out in a 1-1 game in the top of the 5th. It has to be so hard trying to sequence pitching against a guy like Manny Machado, who already has 2 hits against you. And this is his 3rd look at Bideau, where he's had an answer for the first 2 trips to the plate against the right-hander. 3-2. Machado gets it in the air to right center field. Butler gets underneath. See if Bogaerts goes. The throw to third is on line, but diving in safely is Bogaerts. Not a bad throw by Butler. It pushed Urias off just a tad, so an effective out by Machado moves Bogaerts up 90 feet.
Well, it was a strong throw by the Law Dog. You can see it start to kick off as it gets to third. And Bogey says, all right, here I come. And the Law Dog is not able to put it right where it needed to be, but I think Bogaerts probably had that beat out as is.
Infield will move in. Now Sheets is up and swinging on the first pitch. He has struck out twice against Osvaldo Bideau. Padres' second and leading run is 90 feet away from scoring, and Sheets, the designated hitter of choice for Mike Schilt today, is at the plate for a 3rd time. Sliding over to catch that is Langoliers, 1-1. Tails away on the changeup, 2 balls and 1 strike. When you look at this game, a 1-1 score, 24 hits last night, 19 hits the night before. That's 43 hits over the course of 2 games to start a series. As you see Angel Perdomo warming up. Now it's 9 hits between these 2 teams through 4 and some change innings of play. A good slider there. Runs in on the lefty. Sheets getting it to 2-2. So that goes back to what Mark Kotze is saying. You still have to be able to make pitches. So far, Bideau has done just that. On the other side, Randy Vasquez as well. 2-2. Sheets pops it up. Langolier surveying, loses the mask. Will it curl back enough? No, it will not. It'll go in the first row of seats. This is Osvaldo Bido's first look at the Padres ever in regular season play. 34 total games across parts of 3 seasons. He's looked good against San Diego. 2-2, and that's clubbed foul. He has faced Arise, Gurriel, and Hayward before this game, but they were all with different clubs.
Well, right now, an opportunity to get rid of Sheets here. He's got him out front on that slider.
2-2 is inside. Now 3 balls and 2 strikes. You do have a place to put Sheets, which could set up a double play ball, but with Gonzalez coming up, you also have a lot of power waiting on deck. Three-two pitch. High fly ball deep to center field. This should be enough to score the leading run. Blade makes the catch. Bogarts comes in to score as it's cut off by Soderstrom, and it's 2-1 San Diego.
Well, the Padres doing a great job of productive outs. Get them on, get them over, get them in. The leadoff double by Bogey, and then Manny with a deep fly ball to the right side. Bogart's able to get over to third base, and then Sheets there with a good at bat, fouling a couple sliders off, and finally gets a pitch that he can drive out to the outfield.
First pitch to Gonzalez is outside. Gonzalez, before yesterday, played in a few games with AAA El Paso, batted .290 with 3 homers and 7 runs batted in. I believe that was across 7 games. Another chance for Urias. A diving effort, clips off of his glove. Just out of his reach, and Gonzalez has his second hit of the game.
It's a couple times now we've seen the ball just off the tip of the glove of Urias. In a similar pre-pitch routine that we used to see with Matt Chapman, man over there at the hot corner. And that one, well, the last one was 109. This one, 111.
This meeting on the mound is brought to you by the injury attorneys of Ashton and Price. So Scott Emerson talking to Osvaldo Bido. And again, nothing really hit to the point where you're thinking it's going out of the ballpark. Yes, there's been an extra base hit from Bogarts and a few hard line drives headed toward Urias, but by and large has done a really good job limiting the damage to just singles. It's Jose Iglesias, who almost had a single 2 innings ago, but Max Muncy had other plans. Moving to his left and into the outfield grass, slid down, spun off of one knee and threw to first to retire the side in that 1-run 3rd inning for San Diego. They've scored again now here in the 5th. They lead 2-1. Ball, 1 strike, 2 outs.
Well, you got to take care of business here if you're Bido. Unfortunately, I think this is probably going to be his last inning. But you'd like to get through 5 here. You got to take care of Iglesias.
Blow away the Candelita.
Well, that slider's tightened up here. See if he decides to throw another one just a little farther away, a little farther down and out.
2-2 with 2 outs. The pitch to Soderstrom. He was there, took it himself, and that will retire the side. San Diego scores another run. They lead 2-1 with Wilson, Urias, and Muncy coming up. Get all your highlights, analyses, live updates, and more. Everything an athletics fan needs. The NBC Sports California app. Download now. Bottom of the order coming up in the bottom of the 5th. A's down 1 run after San Diego was able to scratch one across the top of the 5th inning. And it's Jacob Wilson.
Well, and as I suspected, Vito's afternoon has come to an end. Scott Emerson.
Here's Jacob going the other way. Arise moves to his right. Covering is Vasquez. A high throw, but Randy's able to adjust well. And Jacob is out on the ground out.
Arias doing a good job of leading him, maybe a little too much. Randy had to accelerate a bit to get over there. Well, that's the line of work for the right-hander. 5 innings, scattered 9 hits about. When you think about 9 knocks and the way this offense has shown up, just 2 runs across, you'll take it. 0 walks. So even in the at-bats where he was behind early, still able to make quality enough pitches to get action and get those guys out of there.
Fine job by Bideau. You know, Dallas, it's also important to talk about Severino and Springs' performance and how it impacts today's game in the bullpen. Severino going 7 innings. Springs, after a 30-some-odd pitch first inning, is able to deliver 6 strong innings of work and keep the bullpen from using too many arms. They used 3, all going an inning each. Leclerc, Sterner, and Ferguson, who finished off Padres in Game 2. 2-0 strike to Urias. And now, after 5 innings from Bideau, he's finished, as you say. You've quite a few options to go with in the final game before the off day tomorrow.
Well, that's the benefit of being able to chew through those innings from your rotation, is you offer your manager those kinds of flexible options. Maybe you're able to extend a guy that you normally would think twice about.
Now a word from Tri-Counties Bank.
We've been providing big bank lending power and high-tech service throughout California for 50 years. But we're still the locals down the street. No matter where your street may be. Tri-Counties Bank, California's local bank.
A's hoping to cash in on the base runner with Max Muncy coming up. Taken outside. He popped out to Arise his last time up. And now Martin Maldonado and the entire infield is going to come out and have a conversation with Randy Vasquez. What's going on here?
Well, I think it may just be a matter of trying to get a pulse for where Randy's at here mentally. And it might be a matter of kind of going over a scouting report. And I see Maldonado. It could very well just be, hey, we've got a lead right now. It's important that you fill the strike zone up, because what we don't want to do is find ourselves in a spot where we are adding traffic to the base pass. I mean, he's sitting at just 56 pitches, Chris. He's been extremely efficient. And I think at times you just need a guy like Martin Maldonado to go out and remind you after the walk to Urias, hey, we've got a job to do. We get back in the zone, we could have 2 outs here with 1 pitch. But 33 strikes out of 56 pitches, I mean, he's filling it up.
Out of the 17 batters he's seen, he's induced 6 ground ball outs. Only 1 strikeout for Vasquez so far today, but has put the ball on the ground. That might also be what they're trying to do, is getting 2 for the price of 1, getting out of this 5th with the lead. 2-0 to Muncy. Now 3 balls and no strikes, but Vasquez struggling to find the strike zone.
Well, he made 20 starts last year for the Friars, and that was, when you think about this, that was over 6 different trips up to the big club. So 6 different times he found himself in the big leagues making starts. And when you think about pitchers across the game last year who made at least 20 starts, this is a dude who was dialing up a ground ball rate that was, I mean, near the top of the leaderboard. Just to give you the specifics, 1.29 ground in a double play per 9 rate, highest among all NL hurlers, and tied with Logan Allen for the 2nd highest mark in the big leagues. Only one better, the lefty in Houston, Framber Valdez. Back.
I think Bobby Crosby had it covered, buddy. So Peralta is warming up in the bullpen. He was the last reliever to come in last night. Could be the first out of the pen today. 3-1 to Muncy. He thought it was ball 4. Instead, it's strike 2.
And I think that conversation from Maldonado has had an impact. Hey, we got guys down at the bottom of the lineup right now. They know how things have gone for Max Muncy, who we feel is starting to climb out of the funk.
3-2, back up the middle, long way to go for Iglesias. Steps on the back, throws to first, and somehow is able to turn a 4-3 double play. So the Padres keep their 2-1 lead through 5 innings of play. The Cache Creek Casino Resort upcoming schedule looks like this. Well, it's the finale here against the Padres. Then the New York Mets come to town Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then the guys get on a plane and head to the Midwest, facing the White Sox and then the Milwaukee Brewers for a 6-game road trip.
I got to be honest with you. My head is already in Chicago. I can already taste the steak dinner. It's going to be a great, great night. Bottles of wine. It's going to be fantastic. I thank you early right now for covering it.
I aim to please. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, brake, and repair experts. It's Angel Perdomo. I got to tell you, Dallas, to hear that you're interested in eating steak, I didn't think that was your thing. I thought you were more like a chicken finger, French fry, sour gummy worms, Sour Patch Kids type of diet. I don't know how you keep your body the way you do, but it is impressive. High metabolism. 1-1, weakly grounded, and Hayward out of the box now. Flip to Perdomo, diving attempt by Hayward, and he dives in safely.
Well, just a little tardy for the big fella getting over there, and you could see Max Muncy start to converge. Soderstrom as well. Again, this is almost one of those no man's land type of efforts. I think it's a great job by Soderstrom to come and get the baseball. And if Perdomo had taken off maybe just a step or two earlier, they've probably got the out over there at first base. Instead, the big lefty beat over there out of the box by Hayward. And you can see with the left-hander finishing towards the third base side, he had to turn and reroute and get going back over to first. And that's a lot of human to get moving there.
This sets up the bunt chance for Lockridge, who will show and push it down. A pretty one as well. Let it go foul, and it does go foul.
What a great job there by Perdomo, because I think he saw that ball start to work its way back to the line. And anytime you have base runners like that, slow roller where a guy out of the box is hustling, you don't want to give it any extra opportunity. You see it start to kick up, and all it needs is a little push from a clump of dirt there, and that thing, I got to believe, was working its way back to fair territory. So the A's catch a break there.
So Urias will play in. You can tell Lockridge trying to go to the first base side. Throw over first to keep Hayward honest.
Well, again, against a left-hander, Chris, because lefties typically finish to that third base side. If you can get it past him, you feel like you're going to force Muncy and Soderstrom to have to make a decision on who's going to get it. And if you can beat the big fella to first like we saw.
And he showed, but it gets away from Langoliers, so the bunt attempt doesn't go down as a strike. It looks like he pulled back, and it got away from Langoliers, advancing Hayward to second.
Well, yeah, he's just got to bail out of here, and you can see Langoliers, not much he can do to get to that pitch, just trying to knock it down, really.
Ball and a strike now. See what Lockridge does at 1-1. So could still try and show bunt here, and he will. And he fouls it down. So he's unable to get the baseball down, and Langoliers had to wear that one a bit.
Well, he's getting wore out back there. Here's the slider.
So it was a wild pitch on Perdomo that put Hayward at second. Now 1-2. Lockridge will swing away and bounce it to first. Soderstrom checks Hayward at second. Very smart play, and Hayward has to scurry back to second base.
Outstanding from Sodi. Well, time now for StatCast. Going to give you a look at how the boys down there in the arm barn are shaping up. As you can see, the white shows you that the pitchers who pitched yesterday, and over the last 3 days, you can see the work from Mitch Spence and Noah Murdoch, TJ McFarland, Perdomo on the mound today. And you can see Mason Miller kind of hanging out.
Still can't get over that play by Soderstrom. You know, a guy transitioning from catcher to first base to have the awareness to check the runner at second base, and Hayward, who still has a little bit of speed, keep him there. Now Maldonado behind the count at 0-2. Soderstrom just seems to be getting better and better as each day progresses across the season at first base.
Well, it's a lot of credit given, and that needs to be given to I think Mike Aldretti first and foremost, a guy who's helped Sodi a lot over there at first base. But I mean, just as far as the entire staff is concerned, right? The early work with Emar, I mean, conversations with everybody just to kind of get familiar.
And he just struck out Maldonado, so a good bounce back by Perdomo, but he does have to face Arise, who doesn't matter lefties or righties, he's going to make contact, but he's 0 for 3 today.
Yeah, 94 elevator to the top, and Maldonado just cannot catch up.
Arise has put the ball in the air 3 times, a fly out, a line out, and another fly out, and pokes the bat head out to right, but it just goes foul.
Well, he was doing everything he could to will that thing back into fair territory. Watch him down the line here. Is it? Is it? Come on. Come on. Come on. Nope.
Hayward broke toward third, but then scampered back in the rise, now at 0-2 after the foul ball. Be big from Perdomo here if he could do something Arise hasn't done to strike him out. Strikeouts in his last 58 appearances at the plate. 0-2. High and tight. Rise nearly got plunked.
Well, not the idea that he almost got plunked, but I love the fact that Perdomo unapologetically trying to take a little ownership back of that inside part of the plate. You see Arias hang in there a long time, which you got to do against these left-handers. But you also have to get in if you're going to get your outs away.
1-2 in the dirt, blocked well by Langoliers. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes.
told you that Shea's been getting beat up back there this afternoon and almost ends up wearing this one directly under the chin.
He doesn't have a neck protector either. Two. Outside, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Watchful eye of Arias.
And if you walk Arias, it's pick your poison. Bogarts, who's 3 for 3, or Machado is 2 for 3. Those are some pretty good numbers. 2 outs and runners in scoring position. 3-2 payoff. In the air to center. Blade will make the catch, and Perdomo has a scoreless 6th inning of relief. Top of the order coming up, down 1.
This telecast is brought to you by Red Hawk Resort and Casino.
We're back here in the bottom of the 6th inning. The A's down 1 against the Padres. 2-1 San Diego leads in the series finale. 1, 2, and 3 up. Lawrence Butler taking a strike. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, brake, and repair experts. It's Adrian Morejon.
And they're going to bring the lefty in, Chris, because you've got Lawrence Butler, Brent Rooker, and then Tyler Soderstrom, a couple lefties.
Bouncing ball up the middle, but Iglesias gets to it, gathers and fires to first. 1 away.
And even with the outing from Vasquez, 5 solid innings, just 1 hit allowed by the right-hander. Just an outstanding performance, but this portion of the ball game, you have to start thinking about the matchups, and as we well know, the way the game has evolved, 3rd time through the lineup, especially through this portion of the Athletics lineup, you got to be careful, because each and every one of these dudes right now can hurt you.
Rooker has been quiet over this series, 0 for 11 in this series, looking for his first hit against San Diego. Cutter runs in. Now a ball and a strike. Two ground outs, 1 to second, 1 to third today for Brent. Off the end of the bat, tags it back foul.
Jeez. Looks like they're going to send Noah Murdoch out there for the 7th inning.
In the dirt, blocked by Maldonado, 2-2. Rooker watches that slider all the way in. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Going back to Randy Vasquez, who's followed up by Morejon and the relievers, who have been so successful to start the year. 1.78 relief ERA, sub 200 opponent average. That's first in all of baseball. 3-2. Rooker just dumps it into left field, finds his pitch, and has his first hit of the series.
And this, I think, is exactly what Mark Kotze is thinking about when he starts stacking up lefty, righty, lefty, righty, lefty. And it's the opportunity to get some guys sandwiched in between those southpaws when a moment like this in the ball game comes, to just get a different look. And now Brent Rooker, who just got his first knock of this series, is on with Tyler Soderstrom, who's been punishing the baseball.
Lefty-lefty matchup for Tyler. He'll swing on the first pitch. Fly ball to center. Easy enough for Lockridge, who makes the catch. I was saying, Dallas, you look at Randy Vasquez's last start versus the Athletics last year. That came on June 11th of 2024 at Petco Park. Non-decision, 5 innings, 7 hits, earned run, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. So a 5-inning performance again, holding the A's to a run. He does it once more in West Sacramento. We've had a close one here. Padres have 2 runs off of 10 hits. Bideau was able to scatter it well, and then of course Perdomo coming in with a good 6th inning of relief work. Now it's Langeliers. Rooker, a nice lead off of first. Right side open for Langeliers. 2 balls and no strikes. Shea's hit .667 against lefties this year. 2-0 off the end of the bat. And Hayward will trot in and make the catch. That will retire the side and end the 6th. The Padres still up by 1.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Athletics and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Athletics.
That was on June 8th, 1999 in San Diego. That was Tim Hudson making his MLB debut, striking out 11 in 5 innings in a non-decision. After walking in his first at-bat, Huddy would collect his first career hit his next time up. He was a great hitter at Auburn. In his sophomore season, he hit .396 with 18 homers. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, brake, and repair experts. There's Noah Murdoch. Always good to see a good Tim Hudson highlight. See him a little bit last year, and June 8th, 1999. It's exactly 5 months before I was born.
Well, how about that? Who knew the gift the world would receive?
I'm sensing some sarcasm there. Weakly grounded to short. There's that internal clock. Throw to first, and for the first time, Xander Bogaerts is retired today. Hey, this gift keeps on giving you biscuits, so you don't want to get on my bad side.
Chick-fil-A biscuits on morning game days. Just wanted to clarify that.
On morning, yes.
Yeah.
Machado takes down low, 1 ball and no strikes. Gonna have to come up with another type of food item to bring up to the booth, because there's gonna be a lot of night games now. Swing and a miss by Machado, 1-1. I know you like sour candy. I hear they have a good tri-tip sandwich in the ballpark.
A great tri-tip sandwich in the ballpark.
I don't know if I can swing that.
Just a solid, a great consistency of the horseradish aioli. Mustard just steps away if you so desire.
What exactly? I mean, aioli is just mayonnaise mixed with something else, right?
Yeah, it's just I don't know, aioli. Sounds Italian? I don't know. Maybe it's just a fancy word for
mayonnaise,
condiment.
Mayonnaise is in everything. Ranch, honey mustard. 3-1 is outside.
Well, as you know, the wagon is loaded. The East is headed to the West. You can get your tickets for a great weekend of baseball to cheer on your green and gold. They'll be taking on Juan Soto and the New York Mets. That's right, that's a 3-game set, and that's going to start Friday just after the off day. Grab your tickets today at athletics.com/tickets.
Saw a really cool video on social media about Juan Soto hitting a home run and his trot around the base paths, which took approximately 37 seconds. And if you break down his contract and how he's getting paid to just the games in the allotted amount of time, in those 37 seconds, he made nearly $1,300.
It's great work if you can get it. You know, I can remember doing a report on the Jordan Company back in high school. And at one point in time, Michael Jordan was making about $2,000, $3,000 a minute.
And you're still a contributor to that foundation. Right back to Murdoch, goes to second, picked by Wilson, throw to first, and a great recovery by Jacob Wilson on a low throw by Murdoch. You get a 1-6-3 double play to end the top of the 7th. It stays 2-1. Let's go to the stretch. A's trying to get back into it on their offensive half the 7th. You ever had a frozen lemonade, Dallas?
Sure have. I've had several.
That sounds great right about now. I bet it tastes even better on a berm. West Sacramento in right field. That's where JJ is going to try and aim here, down 1 run. Padres lead 2-1. The series finale. So back to a right-handed reliever as Morejon went 1 inning of work. And Blade cracks it to deep right center field. Lockridge going back. He's fighting the sun, still going, and he hauls it in right before the 380 sign in right center field. And 1 is away.
Well, this is a great job of tracking. You can see Lockridge kind of shade his vision right there with the bare hand while in the trot. I got it, I got it. Good communication, tongue out. I feel you. And he got it. And between he and Merrill, some pretty good go-getters out there.
So Andujar is up 0 for 2 today and taking high. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, brake, and repair experts. And it's Jeremiah Estrada who appeared in Game 1 of this series and gave up Tyler Soderstrom's second homer of that game.
This is Mr. Punch-Out right here. Jeremiah Estrada. A lot of swing and miss comes with this fella.
1-2 on Andujar. It's high, 2 balls and 1 strike. And Jacob Wilson waiting on deck. And for a high strikeout guy like Estrada, that means he throws a lot of strikes. And Jacob Wilson likes hitting a lot of strikes. Tag back foul, 2-2.
And that'll be a fun at bat to watch, just to see how, number one, Estrada starts the at bat. I don't know that Jacob Wilson will see a fastball. I think that's just simply understanding that Jacob Wilson is up there ready to hit. And if you can get Estrada to start to nibble, I think good things can happen.
And a swing and a miss. The slider got Andujar up top, and it'll be up to Wilson to keep this inning alive, down 1 run.
Well, it's an elevated backup slider. And I think boys on the bump these days are still trying to figure out how to bottle that pitch, because it just doesn't do what the spin tells you it's supposed to do. And as a hitter, you're kind of locked up.
High to Wilson, 1 ball and no strikes. Well, how incredible is it you have a young guy, Jacob Wilson, who has such good pitch recognition, such fast hands, bat to ball skills, and a guy waiting in the wings in AAA that has one of the best eyes for a 21, 22-year-old in Nick Kurtz. And to be able to have that to complement Lawrence Butler and Brent Rooker and JJ Blade, as well as the other cast members on the A's in the future, is something I'm sure David Forst and the rest of this fan base is very excited about. David Feldman found a great note today about Jacob Wilson. Before him, through the first 12 games with a hit, Jason Giambi, .410 average.
The Giambino.
So, excuse me, first athletic since Jason Giambi to hit 400 through the first 12 games. Giambi did it in 2001, hitting .410. 1-2, Wilson flails his bat head out, pops it up to the right side of the infield. Arise calls off Iglesias and makes the catch. A 1-2-3 inning for Estrada. 2 more frames left to go. The Padres up 1.
Welcome back. Time now for your play of the day, presented by your California Ford dealers. How about Max Muncy going to work? An incredible spin, pop up, fire a strike. He wasn't done. Noah Murdoch throws a sinker over to Jay Willie, digs it out. Inning double play.
Little slow roller back to Murdoch, handles it perfectly, 1 down. I think he'll take that there.
Absolutely. Early outs.
And he's had his name called on the defensive side, Murdoch. Last 2 hitters have come right back to him. He's had to turn a double play ball, and Gonzalez, with some speed, was busting up the line, and Noah looked very comfortable handling that pitch. So it's Jose Iglesias, 0 for 3 with 3 groundouts. I wanted to ask you, for a guy like this, in Iglesias, who is a chart-topping recording artist as well.
Yep.
By day a baseball player, by night, well, probably still a baseball player, some nights a performer. How do you get your studio time in? Do you go to the biggest major market cities, like when they're in New York? So he goes around on a buckling sinker. Does he go to the studio and then head to the ballpark the next morning?
Oh, who knows? I mean, oh, that was a very awkward swing. Maybe you just, you play for the tie and you sing in the shower.
Serves it into center field. A nice piece of hitting by Jose Iglesias.
I mean, you got a job to do. You're a big leaguer. I got to believe he understands that. He knows where the bread is buttered. I think he's just able to throw the hands at that one. And that's not to take anything away from what he's been able to do as a recording artist by any means. But if you're asking me whether or not he should worry about studio time or BP, that's why I said go ahead and sing in the shower and we'll see you at the ballpark.
Some activity in the A's bullpen. Double barrel action, as you call it. McFarland and Sterner. Sterner pitched last night. TJ pitched a few days ago. It's 2 for 3 is Jason Hayward. He has Murdoch to face with Iglesias on first. Lawrence likes to record every once in a while. Good freestyler. Remember last year he went to the Quad Studios in New York City.
Did you go with him?
No.
No?
No, I don't think that they would have let me in there. Broken bat popped up. The only thing worse than my middle school basketball career was my hip-hop, R&B, and rap career.
Well, I was just going to ask, is there not a video floating around all of the Super Bowl shuffle from the '85 Bears, you and your championship 8th grade basketball team?
Hey, man, we ended up in the same place all the same. It's just different routes to get here. I was more, choir my first 2 years of high school. You were a psychotic left-handed starter. It's fine.
So you're looking to sing backup for Iggy? What are we getting at here?
I don't know if I have the vocals for that. Choir is a group event. You can be very quiet in choir. Be the backing vocals for Lawrence. Do the ad-libs.
Yeah.
I don't think he'd let me in the studio. I really don't.
Yeah, you're pushing more roadie vibes than anything.
I asked him what his walk-up song was this year, and he said, "You wouldn't know it." And I said, "Are you sure?" He said, "I'm absolutely positive." And he said, "Now let's talk about literally anything else so that we both understand what we're talking about here."
That's a good call by the Law Dog.
Fair enough.
He's got a good feel for his audience. Oh, yeah.
Swing and a miss by Lockridge. That is a devastating slider, and another great inning of work by Murdoch. This game summary is brought to you by Toyota. Well, we got a low scoring affair here. 2-1, the Padres lead entering the bottom of the 8th inning. Randy Vasquez and Osvaldo Bido, both 5-inning performances, both great performances, though Vasquez only threw 61 pitches, Bido at 90. And of course, Jacob Wilson extends his hitting streak even further. 13 straight games to start a season, each with a hit. 14-game hitting streak total dating back to last year. And then, of course, Xander Bogaerts, a 3-hit performance himself. So a new pitcher and the righty reliever Seth Brown will come off the bench. And the pitch is outside. 1 ball and no strikes. A bat in place of Luis Urias. Get it off the end of the bat. Foul. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, brake, and repair experts. Jason Adam making his 7th appearance. He appeared 2 games ago, setting up the closer for San Diego. And Robert Suarez.
Well, Jason Adam has been a part of the group down there in that San Diego arm barn that has been lights out. 17 of 23 batters retired. 9 of his 19 outs coming via the punch out.
1-2, and Brown is down on strikes. Swings through a changeup and misses.
And there it is. It's a short stroke. It's a short arm swing there for Adam, and at times that can be tough for guys to pick up. Feels like that ball almost just sort of shoots or spits out of the hand of the pitcher.
So Muncy 0 for 2, popped out and grounded into a double play. Takes a high breaking ball, 1 ball and no strikes. And has a lot of movement, and it's straight from the top, isn't it?
Well, that's that gyro, right? Slider that's got more vertical movement, really, aside from that outside of that sweeper that you're trying to kind of drag laterally across the zone.
1-1 breaking ball. Muncy gets to it, but floats it to left. Easy enough for Hayward, who catches it at the letters. 2 down. So it's LB's turn. 0 for 3 today, has put the ball in play all 3 times. A fly out, a pop out, and a ground out. Still riding that 5-game hitting streak. You know, he's looking for something a little bit bigger than just a single here. He did not.
Good job by the long off. Strong arm in it.
You know, he's been incredibly patient at the plate at times, even here at home, where you would expect somebody who likes to swing early, get that first pitch and ambush. He's been more selective in the early goings of this year. And now at 2-0, he puts Adam in a different position. 3 balls and no strikes.
Well, and what was interesting about the last pitch there is after that second ball, Lawrence decided, I'm still going to take my time out here. I'm still going to, you know, try to feel myself mechanically, get back in the saddle, see if I can't create a little action.
Rio takes it for a strike, 3-1.
And how about that respect? 3-0 slide piece. Adam out there well aware of the danger that Lawrence Butler presents.
Fouled away, now 3-2. Got Butler out in front on a changeup. Now a payoff situation for Adam against the A's frontman Lawrence Butler. Three-two payoff pitch. is inside, and Lawrence works a walk.
Well, fans, for just $25, you can sit in the general admission outfield grass for all regular season home games. Tickets for that day's game will open up daily, and that's going to happen at 9 a.m. on athletics.com/lawn. You can sign up to receive A's alerts to receive a text the first morning of each home series as a reminder. So for more info, head on over to visit athletics.com/lawn.
Big swing by Rooker. He misses 0-1. Got his first hit of the series in his last at bat in the sixth. It was a single. Just dropped into left field. He's 1 for 3 today. A's do have a base runner, but 2 outs against Adam. Breaking ball a touch high. Maldonado again trying to frame it into the zone, but James Hoy not having any of it.
Yeah, that's a tough pitch at the top of the zone to try to dress up there. Maldonado pretty good at his craft back there.
So now it's 1-2. Good day today for Sacramento sports fans. A's play this afternoon. The Kings, Golden One Center tonight, I believe against the Nuggets.
That's it. Joker's in town.
1-2. Butler breaking for second. Throw down from Maldonado is late. So Lawrence puts himself in scoring position. It is a ball to Rooker. So now 2-2 with a runner on second and 2 out.
Pretty good jump there by the Law Dog. And he's able to extend and get that left hand into the corner of the bag just before Iglesias gets that tag down. Lawrence Butler, a model of efficiency when it comes to swiping second, swiping third.
And I would think now the game plan changes a bit, because now with Butler at second base, it's not, hey, find a gap and he'll score. It's, hey, if it gets down with his speed, how he's able to run the bases, that could be the tying run coming around.
Well, and that's why the focus here is about what they want to do to Brent Rooker, who's got 2 strikes on him right now, just got his first hit of this series. And Adam, as we have seen, with a really nice slider. I mean, how about this? 20 for 21. Pretty good?
I'd say.
You like that?
95%, that's an A+. 2-2, and a wave and a miss. Breaking ball does Rooker in, and that will retire the side in the 8th. The Padres hold their 1-run lead.
This telecast is brought to you by Toyota. Class-leading MPG and more hybrid models than any other brand. Toyota, let's go places. And by Cache Creek Casino Resort, Northern California's premier entertainment destination.
We've entered the final frame of the game. The 9th inning of The series finale. It's 9-1-2, starting with Martin Maldonado, who has a trio of strikeouts swinging to his name. Will face the righty. Follow up, Noah Murdoch. High fastball, swing and miss. Justin Sterner in the game. Pitched yesterday. He pitched a successful 4-batter 8th inning. Didn't allow a hit, but that's it.
Well, for Justin Sterner, we have seen him in some very important spots, and I think the numbers reflect the reason why. Opposing offenses have just had a tough time really getting anything going.
Schumann checks in at third base. Seth Brown pinch hit for Luis Urias. So Max comes in to provide his defensive abilities at the hot corner. Slider out, 2 balls and 2 strikes. So you saw Miller warming up in the bullpen, but it's Sterner with the A's down 1. Hoping to change that in the bottom of the 9th. 2-2. Ground ball to third. Diving attempt by Schumann. Bobbles it, can't come up with it. And Maldonado will reach. Had to go to the ground there. It's been tough sledding at the hot corner today. A lot of balls have caught the third baseman, and it's been a lot of close plays.
Well, Shu had this gobbled up, but it wasn't all the way in the glove. You can see it spit out right here as he starts to come up. The ball hit his elbow as he started to pop up. That's where the glove, or excuse me, that's where the baseball spit out. And he knew that he had time if he was going to be able to gather it cleanly still, but not after that bobble.
Scored a base hit, so Maldonado does get a hit today. And Luis Urias, who's hitless today with 3 flyouts and a lineout, and 0 for 4 is up for a 5th time.
Oh, my goodness.
Shea has worn quite a few today.
Oh. Oh. I mean, that is, and again, because of the new mechanics that we have seen make their way to this position, there's just parts of the lower half that are exposed that maybe weren't quite as exposed in years past or with a different setup. Dare we call him Shea Pain Glears, because he is wearing it. Take a listen. Oh. It's like a heavyweight pillow fight.
Yeah, it's not fun.
No, no.
There's not really any way to remedy that either.
Well, and how about this? You just wear a foul ball right on the inside of your thigh, and then you got to drop down, body up, stick your chest into it. Oh, he did. He did.
It's a buckling pitch. Did Urias go around?
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
Absolutely.
And Langoliers has had to body up 3 times, and 2 out of the 3 times he knew it was coming.
Well, and for the first time in what is his 57th plate appearance, Urias, who ends up wearing one in the leg, probably had the most painful at bat of everybody here, as he goes down, punched out. And Schultz asking, hey, are we sure about that? And James Hoy is saying, yeah, well, I made the call, so it's a done deal. But yeah, on the swing, obviously is where the call's made. And Schultz going, are you sure?
But it's not even arguing balls and strikes, right? It's the conversation to me would be, hey man, this guy literally doesn't strike out, so this is new for us. This is weird to see. You sure he's out?
Well, I can promise you there's been a time or two where Urias has offered at a pitch and hit it or hit it foul that was probably going to hit him.
Talk about a bat being an extension of your body. Luis Ariz really knows how to utilize that portion of his body well. This has been a tough out all day long. 3 for 4, 2 runs scored, a double. Sterner has a runner on first. That's Maldonado. So probably not a risk to run on Langoliers. Sterner gets him to foul it back on the sweeper. 1-2.
Well, right now with Maldonado in front of Bogey, Maldonado's got the uncanny ability to turn an extra base hit into a single himself. Bogey's not going anywhere.
1-2 pitch.
Oh, yeah.
High and in, and Bogaerts goes fishing. Good pitch by Sterner. And 2 are down.
How about that? Runner in, up under the hands. And Bogey, almost self-preservation, just trying to flail at that thing. Now Scott Emerson out here to talk to Sterner. Says, hey, we got to be smart. We got to have a good idea of how we want to go about Manny Machado right now.
We're talking about right on right here. The best plan of action, what? Stay away with him, from him, keep the sweeper going.
Well, that's probably the conversation here. You're going to make him beat you the other way if that's going to happen. And as we have already found out in this series, and unless you've been under a rock, you know Manny Machado can pound the ball out of any field. Left, right, center, doesn't matter. He's hit the opposite field home run this series already.
Padres up 2-1. There's a cut fastball. So that break away from the righty that we're talking about, that starts off Machado. Sterner ahead in the count.
Well, Chris, it's one of the 3 things you have to be able to do as a reliever coming into leverage scenarios. You got to be able to spin the breaking ball for strikes. You got to be able to defend yourself. As a pitcher, you have to be able to control the running game late.
3 straight cutters to Machado, and he's staying on the outer half.
So he's spinning it for strikes. Machado will not be bunting, and Maldonado's not going anywhere. So your out right here is at home plate.
And then he runs it inside. So kind of went the same game plan with Machado like he did one batter before with Bogaerts.
Well, and now let's see if he decides to double up with that fastball in with Manny possibly looking out there. That cutter's been good, though.
2-2, and he goes sweeper.
And I think that they have an opportunity if they can beat him to a spot with that late exploding life on the fastball that we've seen here from Sterner, even at 92-94. I think they can beat him there.
2-2. Sweeper outside now, 3-2. So Maldonado will get a head start from first to second with 2 down. A 2-1 San Diego lead. They have 12 hits and 2 runs.
And now you got to be sure that this pitch is executed. If it's going to be that slider away, that's the same pitch 3 times in a row in the same location.
3-2 payoff. Machado fouls it away. That was a cutter right down the middle. Flags gently blowing out toward right. Three-2 again. Machado wants to see another.
And you see Langoliers pointing out to Sterner, telling him, hey, there you go, probably a little higher than high. And if that fastball is maybe an inch or 2 up and a few inches over towards the inside part of the plate, again, I think they can still beat Manny to that spot.
The next 3-2 is outside. Sterner missed his spot. And now runners on first and second. The lefty Sheets coming up. And a decision is going to be made by Marcotte to possibly play the matchup game in a high stress situation. So Kotze will go to the bullpen at 2-1 Padres in the top of the 9th.
those who serve with $10 tickets. Thanks to a partnership with GovX.com, we're celebrating our heroes, active duty, reserve veteran, and retired military personnel, first responders, and more. It's our way of saying thank you for your service and commitment. Get your discounted tickets at athletics.com/value.
America's farm to fork capital. TJ McFarland comes into the game with 2 outs and 2 on in the top of the ninth. The Padres already up 1. Arcatse was attempting to play the matchup game against Gavin Sheets. Now Yuli Gurriel will bat in place of Sheets.
And Gurriel, 272 lifetime against left-handers. And a 229 hitter coming off the bench. That's the role he finds himself in right now, and he's staring down the barrel of TJ McFarland.
Good backdoor slider for a strike.
So you dot that up a couple more times. Going to be a tough at bat. You see Gurriel, though, he's had a lot of success against the green and gold.
TJ goes low on the sinker, 2-1. McFarland sinker sweeper combination utilizes that very heavily. But a guy who has been used in so many different spots over the course of his career. Now 2-1 induces a foul ball in the count. Now at 2-2.
Well, the A's 1 for 4 this afternoon. Runners in scoring position.
Not too many opportunities for the green and gold.
But the Padres, however, Chris, they've had plenty, and unfortunately for them have not capitalized. Just 2 for 13.
Well, if they had capitalized, it'd be a lot harder to get back into this game. 2-2. Gurriel on the ground to third. Schumann races to the bag, and he beats out Maldonado. So McFarland does his job and gets a ground out. It stays 2-1. The A's trying to tie it or win it in the ninth.
Well, time now for our T-Mobile coverage cam. A's pushed just 1 run across, and it came from the speedy backstop who was able to come in and sneak under his counterpart. Got that foot in there. Maldonado just laid on the tag, and that would be the only run of the afternoon so far for the Athletics, who are down to their final 3 outs of the game, and it will be Shea Bangaliers to get things going.
When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, brake, and repair experts. Robert Suarez coming in. He closed out game 1, picked up his 2nd save of the year in a 5-4 win for San Diego. Now it's 2-1, so another 1-run situation he's trying to protect. But it's Soderstrom, Langeliers, and Blade. Tyler will take a changeup at the top of the zone for strike 1. 0 for 3 for Tyler today. Just needs to get on. Now 1-1. Tyler's second in the league in OPS entering today's game. 1,300 nearly. And he did not go around. Good take by Soderstrom to get ahead in the count.
This is exactly what you have to do right now at this portion of the ball game. Try to create a little traffic.
And now 3-1. Another good eye by Tyler Soderstrom, and he's in a hitter-friendly count at 3-1. Suarez doesn't want to put him on to have Langeliers come up, who's a power threat as well. It's outside, and Soderstrom draws a leadoff walk here in the bottom of the ninth inning, and things start to get interesting now.
Well, very quickly. We're just one swing away from clapping hands and taking the series. And I think it'd be a great ending to a ball game in which Shea Langeliers has gotten beaten up behind home plate.
Ground ball to Manny Machado on the first pitch. Double clutches over to second, on to first. And that's not what you want to happen there. 5-4-3. An early swing. And Manny Machado handled it well.
Well, and I think we're thinking about maybe taking a look. Actually, what it was is that hand, you can see the slide from Tyler Soderstrom, catches Bogey on the thigh, or excuse me, Iglesias on the thigh. Watch here, watch this left arm, or the right arm, right there. And that's an automatic bang bang.
So it's up to J.J. Bleday, who's the lifeline. He'll swing at the first pitch and pop it up. Coming in is Lockridge, and he finds it at the last second. 7-pitch ninth for Suarez, picks up his third save of the year, and the Padres win 2-1. So San Diego takes 2 out of the 3 games in this series. They win this series and will head home to face the Colorado Rockies and Cubs. And of course, the A's will still stay here in West Sacramento. Coming this weekend are the New York Mets. Dallas, your assessment of the series real quick.
Well, I think for today it was a great job by Bideau to give his team a chance to win. The bullpen came in and did an outstanding job. A low-scoring affair, as you see. It's a 2-1 ball game. And unfortunately, on the flip side of that coin is the A's offense, only able to scratch 1 run across on 2 hits, because the counterpart to Bideau, Mr. Vasquez, was outstanding in his own right. 5 solid innings, just 1 run allowed. And the bullpen for the San Diego Padres, that has been outstanding to start this season, came in and got the job done once again.
So let's take a look at the probables for Friday night. Griffin Canning against J.P. Sears. Those will be the 2 men facing off against each other. Of course, Canning, his time in Anaheim, knows the division well, and J.P. has had a successful start to his 2025 campaign. Friday at 7 p.m. The A's have a day off tomorrow. Good day of rest. And it's going to be a fun series, man. Juan Soto and the Mets come to town. Another great team, another great test for the A's.
Well, it's going to be a great test simply because that's a team that has postseason aspirations, and it's going to be a great measuring stick once again.
Well, that's it here today between the A's and the Padres. The Padres win, but stay tuned. A's Cast on NBC Sports starts right now.